Randy back in the shop today. Got all these parts cleaned up and inspected, and the parts for the transmission showed up this morning from Riverside Gear. So I'm going to start assembling this main shaft and show you how this goes back together. All these gears, when they the ones that spin on the main shaft, they don't have any bushings or anything in them. It's just the oil from the lubrication of the transmission itself that lubricates the gears and the shaft. There's no needle bearings on the main shaft or anything like that. So when you put these on here, give it a little shot of oil. This one goes on here like so. And it just spins. A little bit more down in there. Okay. And the next part that goes on is your, I don't know what they call it, but part of your synchronizer, and it's got little springs in it. These came in the rebuild kit. These little dogs here. These pieces fit on, they fit in here. They go in here like such. Okay, I got this together. I had to pull the springs out, and I put the clips in first. I'll do the other one. Here's the other shift collar here. That goes in there like that. Okay. This up. And you have to orientate these the right way. Well, that goes like that. Put these little pieces in here in the 3 slots. And then we'll put the spring in. Just like that. Flip it over. Put the other spring in. Just like that. And when you put these in, when you assemble these synchros on the main shaft, where this is beveled here and the other one is beveled the same, they have to, they can't face each other like this here. They have to go away from each other like this. And what these little dogs do here, this is your synchro collar, your brass synchro ring. Those brass rings fit in there like that. And what it does, what those brass shims, those little dogs do when you have this on here, get this back in. Well, I'll show you this part after I get this assembled on a main shaft. It'll be easier instead of trying to hold on to everything. Synchro ring goes on here like so. You got your main synchronizer. This goes together like this here, and when this gear spins, what the synchronizer does is it slows down the gear, and as your shift fork is pulling this over, the synchronizer will slow down the gear, and it helps it mesh together like that. When you have a non-synchronized transmission, that's like the early 3 speeds. Generally, your low gear was not synchronized, and every time you pulled it in low gear, why, you could feel it catching. So now, what we got to do is this collar gets slid on here. It's actually pressed onto the main shaft. So I'm going to go over to the press, get this pressed on, and then we'll put this final gear on. I'll bring over to the press. I'll be right back. All right, over at the press here. All right, it's all pressed on, and I'll meet you back over at the bench. All right, back over at the bench. I'm going to put the other brass synchro ring on and give this a shot of oil here. This gear goes on here like so. Like that there. And the synchros are captured in between there. Pull it up like that, and the 2 gears spin. Now what goes on the back here is your output main shaft bearing. It's this bearing right here. get this on the right way. Okay. It goes like that. The snap ring groove goes down. Now there's a snap ring that goes in here. That should also be in this kit here. Cut this open here. All kinds of snap rings and bearing spacers and get the right one here. That should be the one right there. All right. Go. Okay. Grab a dead bolt hammer. Here we we go. That part's all together. Just like that there. Now this gear goes on a shaft next. Just like that. Two other new synchro rings. Alright. Now we got another snap ring to put on here. This synchro assembly just slides on the spline on the main shaft. We got a big snap ring here. It's got to go on. Okay. All right, I got the main shaft gears out of the way. Now for the hardest part, this whole job is assembling all these needle bearings in this counter shaft. How I'm going to do this here is I'm going to pack this with grease and then put the spacer in with the old shaft and then start feeding the needles in. Fill this with grease like this here. Okay, that's one row of needles done, and I'll bring it back when I got 3 more rows to do, and I'll bring it back when I'm done. Try to get a shot of it here. Let me move this here. There's the 2 rows of needle bearings on each side, and that other little tube is just a spacer to keep them in place. They're held in with grease, and then the next thing is to assemble this counter shaft in the transmission. But I'm going to call it for this part on this. For this part, you'll have to stand by for part 4 of this video on assembling this transmission. Talk to you later. Bye.